With us from San Diego, California, is Dr. Julianne Blake. Dr. Julianne, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm welcome. I'm excited to be here and really happy to be with you.
Interestingly enough, is that you're a psychologist and you like to use psychology to help people with the challenges of cancer. Is that
I do.
true to your heart?
Yes, it absolutely is. You know, ever since I was a kid, I was really interested in mind-body stuff, like psychology. What difference does your attitude make in what happens to you and how well you are and how strong you are and all the other stuff where we don't know if we're victimized by life or, you know, doing really great and attracting wonderful things.
Speaking of wonderfulness, sometimes in life, stress takes us away from wonderfulness. How
Yes.
do you help people with stress transformation? What does that mean to you, that phrase?
You know, I actually was very, very blessed, I think, because I started working with cancer patients partly because it's just so compelling. I thought, you know what, if there's anybody who's up against the wall and wants to get well, it's people that are diagnosed with cancer. I mean, because that's the threat, the big threat. And I thought, you know, and there's got to be a way that their attitude can help them. And I came into this field at the time right when visualization was just being accepted in the medical world as a valid way to treat cancer patients, to really offer them something that could heal. And you know, it's been absolutely profound to me. And I've used it to help a lot of cancer patients and myself and friends and clients with other illnesses, because being able to know what we want, this is what I teach. You know, affirmations, just saying the words doesn't fix it. It's really your attitude. It's really knowing what you want. It's believing that it's possible. You don't have to have any idea how. You just have to know you can have it, and you have to feel worthy. You have to feel worthy of it and ready to accept it. And then you really can create miracles for yourself.
Now,
It's
speaking of
amazing.
miracles, speaking of miracles, Dr. Julianne, share with us one particular case or story without really mentioning their name, where you felt like that transformation became a reality for someone and you witnessed
Oh,
something magical. Can you share with us a little story?
oh my goodness. Let's see. There's so many. You know, one of my first cancer patients, this was years ago, but she's the one that came to mind. She she was a young woman who was recently married, and she really wanted to have a child, and
Okay.
she was just afraid that you know, if the cancer beat her, that she wouldn't be there to be a mother, and she was very afraid of that. So we worked with that, and she really got much clearer about her right to be a mother and what she could offer as a mother and trusting in life. And you know, she got pregnant and she healed and she had a wonderful child and a life and
Oh,
a good marriage. It was
that's
beautiful.
lovely. So you've always been helping people on their journey using different techniques and ideas, stress transformation, really taking care of people's body, mind, and their soul. And you've kind of gotten a reputation for this, world-renowned reputation for this, about being able to help people. When a call comes in or an email or a problem or a question, how do you first evaluate that person? What's the first steps that you take so that we could walk somebody through a process?
Well, you know, actually, what I just talked about is I check out their attitude. My
Okay.
experience with cancer patients, it's really interesting. You know, a lot of people, um, and I don't know the percentages, but some people live exactly to practically the day, definitely within a week. of when their doctor told them. You know, like if the doctor says,
Yep, 9
maybe you've
months,
got
right.
maybe a year, exactly, and that's their checkout. And it's like they never felt like they had any choice. That was their sentence, and they just obeyed it. And other people are like, I don't know if it's rebels or adventurers, or they're determined. They're more like that's not how it's gonna be, and
Right.
they can heal and live for years and years no matter what. And
I'm laughing because my own personal journey, my mom had breast cancer and she was very young. She was 40 and the doctor told her she had 9 months to 3 years. Well, not my mom. My mom lived 5 years because she said, I will, there's no way I'm going to let somebody tell me when I'm leaving. She's just like, she was funny that way. And I think that go-to attitude.
That orneriness is an incredible success factor in healing cancer and probably everything else. I know the research about cancer, but I'm actually starting to look at autoimmune disease now because just about everybody has some form of it these days. And, you know, I think the same principles apply because it has to do with our makeup, you know, our basic attitude. My dad was, like you said, he was diagnosed a little while after I had gone into the field, and you know, he was massively depressed for 6 months. I knew something was wrong, but he wouldn't say a word. And then he finally told us all, you know, the doctor says I have terminal cancer. The doctor actually said that. I can't believe it. That's just should be against the law. And he said, probably not going to make it for a year. And, you know, I said, you know, Dad, you can change that. Excuse me.
No, Julianne, it's
But
okay.
he did. He did have a very incurable type of cancer. Most people do die within a year. And he lived for 16 years. And he became a cancer coach himself, which was very cool because even though he never learned any therapy or psychology, you know, the businessmen, the people who didn't want to go to some young woman like me, were happy to talk to him because they completely got it, you know, so it was great.
Love that. I love that friendship that you built between the two of you. I love that he inspires you. He continues to, you know, motivate you and inspire you and encourage others. Just, that's a beautiful share. Thank you for that. And when we first got on this call, I had mentioned to you, my show's different. It's not like question, answer, question, answer. It's about the essence of life. And you brought so much essence to us today. And I know you have a very valuable website that's there and people could go to it to learn more about you. But before we wrap up, is there any tip or resource that you would like to share, words of wisdom that you could share with our audience?
Yes, you know, one of the things that I love to teach that helps so many people, even if you're not fighting a major illness, there's so many women, especially now, that are really struggling with depression. It's like more than a third of the American women are on antidepressants. That's horrifying to me. There's so many natural ways that we can overcome depression. And yes, it takes a little training of our brain and our subconscious. That's what I work with. And I'm preparing to offer some stuff on my website. It's not there yet. But I teach, I do in my coaching, ways to overcome depression that are really easy and fun. And I also teach them on my radio show, which is every week on Thursdays at 2 Eastern. And it's called Prescription for a Miracle, wouldn't you know?
Well, I wish you happiness in your journey, and I think it's fabulous that you are celebrating people's miracles and that you're helping contribute to society in the way that you are. So Dr. Julianne Blake, thank you very much for being a guest on our show today, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Donna. It's been a great pleasure. I've enjoyed it very much.
Happy journeys to you, Doctor. Be well. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was Dr. Julianne Blake. Isn't she wonderful? So we hope you enjoyed this visit. It certainly touched my heartstrings. Stay tuned. We've got another great guest coming up next.